Hi guys. I was going to do a post today about a recipe on how to use raw kale and make a raw kale salad. I had one for supper last night and we really enjoyed it. So I thought, well, what better way than just to show you how to do it. So I've got some kale, I've been cutting it, and I'll show you how I do it. I just break these little stems off. You don't have to worry about deveining it or, getting it off this part right here. Just make sure that you pinch those off because it just makes it a little bit easier to squish up, and you don't have the big crunchy parts in there. So I just pinch them off, and those right there, I would either put them in my compost or I would put them in the freezer and get a bunch together with some leftover vegetables and some chicken bones or whatever you've got left to make a good broth out of it, or chicken stock, and just add these to that. So don't waste them. They're good for, I don't waste anything unless it's just really bad. So you just get the knife, you bunch them up in a little wad, and then just cut them in as close as you can this way. And be sure to turn your fingertips back when you're cutting, ladies. Don't cut those fingertips off. I have cut the end of my finger before, so it's not real fun. Just make sure you turn your fingertips back when you're cutting, as to prevent cutting your finger. We don't want that to happen in a raw kale salad. Okay, so I'm almost done with my cutting. I cut these previous so that it would speed up the process. So just bunch them up and cut them up really small. Now I've already washed my hands. The kale has been triple washed, so it's good to go. It's really easy to make a raw kale salad, and it's so good and so nutritious for you. Okay, so now we've got the kale in the bowl here, and I think I'm going to do the whole avocado. Yesterday when I made ours, I made just a small amount, and I did not use the whole thing. But this one I'm going to. You get your knife to de-pit it, just hit that pit and give it a little twirl, and it'll take it right out. And since I'm going to do this as a raw, and I didn't do this yesterday, but I will do it now, just put some slices in here so that the pieces, when you get it out of here, is going to be a little smaller. Just slice it here, make it into little bitty squares, make it little bitty pieces when it comes out. Get you a spoon and just go around the edges of it like this and get that avocado out. I don't measure when I'm doing this. I really don't. So you could put more avocado if you wanted more. If you want less, put less. It's kind of like to your own taste. I do put a little bit of olive oil, and for this, I don't know, I'm just going to kind of go around it a little bit, just a little toss, maybe a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half. It doesn't need that much. And yesterday, this is the spice that I used. It's just garlic and pepper seasoning together. You can probably find it at your local. Again, I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. So I'm going to put maybe, I'd say a half a teaspoon. Let's give it just a tad more. Not much. If you wanted to, which I might add some of this in a minute, you can add some Parmesan cheese grated. This is Parmesan and black garlic. It's really good. If you've never tried it before, you can look for it sometime, and it's really good. But you don't have to. Okay, the biggest thing is to get your hands in here. That's what you're doing next, is just to get your hands in this stuff and squish. The longer you squish, the softer your kale will be, the better it will be. And you can judge it to see if you want more, a little bit more olive oil, a little bit more avocado. Make sure you get the avocado pieces all squished up, and just squish, squish, squish until it is all coated. I think I might add just a dash more, which would make it not too much, but you don't want too much in there. But you could add different spices if you wanted it spicier. You could add just a little bit of the cayenne pepper. You could add, instead of garlic powder, you could add some. We make ourselves. We make jalapeno salt. You could add jalapeno salt to it if you wanted it spicy. We have a shishito pepper salt that you could add. We make a Cuban oregano one. So any of those would be good in this. Like I say, it's to your taste, whatever spice. If you don't like garlic, just add some pink Himalayan salt and a little pepper with olive oil, avocado. You don't have to add the garlic, but it just made it so good. And you just keep squishing. Like I say, the longer, even if you're making, do you like kale chips? If you make kale chips, you can do kale chips basically the same way. And if you would leave whole, and you would put the same ingredients in here and squish the leaves up so that they're nice and tender. And after you get them all squished and everything combined real good, then just dehydrate them and make kale chips. That was another way that we like to do the kale. I was thinking that it might be a good thing to every so often just do a recipe with something that we've grown out of the garden. If you think that's a good idea, just leave a comment or something and let me know. But basically, this is the way, this is ready. I could still keep squishing. Like I say, the longer you squish, it just makes it a little bit softer. So then you would just put it in a bowl and put it in a bowl and put it in the fridge. Now it's better if you eat it fresh, but if you don't, because I won't eat all that by myself, then let me wash my hands real quick and I'll show you another tip. For avocado, anything with avocado, I should say. It is a little bit messy. You get to play around and stuff. I don't think this will hold it all in this, but I'm going to show you what kind of a tip that I do for this. Get a spoon. You know, avocado sometimes turns brown. All that means is it's getting the oxygen to it. When it turns a little brown in the fridge, it doesn't make it bad. It won't taste as fresh, you know, as good as fresh, but it's still not bad. But when I do anything with avocado, I put it in this little bowl here, and I'm gonna do these in 2 smaller bowls, so I've got them fresh. And then I'm gonna get a piece of this plastic wrap. Now this works for avocado or anything with avocado in it, and just smash your plastic down on top of, like a raw avocado, guacamole, anything that you've done with that. Keeps sticking to me. And just smash it down on top of it, so you're decreasing the airspace that you've got in the top. Just put it on like that, and then put your lid on it. That way it just keeps it a lot fresher in the fridge while you're waiting to use it up. So it made a pretty good batch. I've got some, you probably hear the dehydrator going over there. I know I'm blocking myself, right? It's a big bowl. I've got some in the dehydrator right now too. You can dehydrate kale, and we use it, I powder it up, and we've used it in our smoothie blends that we sell at the market, and people buy it to put in their smoothies. People that don't have time to get up in the mornings and do kale fresh, or don't have kale fresh available, then they just use the smoothie blend powdered and get their greens in. So if you haven't ever tried a raw kale salad, I encourage you to. It's really good, really nutritious, and great for you. Thank you.